I wound up going to WCXI, which was the country station.
Yes, 11:30.
There you go. There you go. And
Dino Day, that was must listen to.
oh, another person who I absolutely loved him because I started there just doing the news on the weekends. Because believe it or not, like I tell people, it was a country station, but honest to goodness, they had the number one news station in Detroit at that time. They won all the AP awards, UPI awards, and everything else. So it was good. And then that's when all of a sudden
You know what? I don't want to interrupt, but that was to me like when before FM became king, CXI took over for what the Big Eight was doing. It was like it was the next generation of that. It was popular music. They had entertaining jocks. It was people listened to that station all the time.
Oh yeah, and I mean especially that's when John Travolta's movie Urban Cowboy came out.
Yeah, yeah.
And that made country music and being a country person sexy and sharp. And so at that time, WCXI or Golden West Broadcasters, who was the owner, bought 92.3 FM, which before that was Tower Radio downtown in the Renaissance Center.
Yeah.
And so they said, okay, we got an FM station. We're going to be looking for people. I said, hey, I want to be a DJ again. Put me back on. They said, well, the only spot we have is midnight to 6 a.m. Fine. Because as it turns out, that's when the people who are listening to that type of music, that's when they were partying and having a good time and calling you up.
Yeah.
And those were probably 5 of the most fun years I had in radio. Like I said,
just talk a little bit. What kind of radio were you doing, Greg?
Okay, there it was country.
No, I mean, as an on-air personality, you had to be doing bits. What was some of the stuff that you liked to do when you were on the air?
Oh, geez. We would have it where, especially like on a Friday night, just, hey, you just getting back from the bar? Give me a call. And people would be going, I want to and they would be drunk and you didn't have any way to check or anything. Or a lady would call up, hi, what are you doing? I got to get off the phone. That.
And that's interesting because it's funny that you went to the phones because to me, the phones are so integral to being an on-air person, a good on-air personality, utilizing the phones. That's why Lee Allen was so good. That's why Doug Podell, others like people who use the phones find great success. And that's but at that hour, I can't even imagine. We're at Taco Bell. Greg, you want a taco? I mean, I'm just.
Oh, there was one time I said something. I was on the air going, man, because I used to do bar nights too. So you do a bar night starting at like 7 o'clock, go to 11, and then have to go to the station. Again, the best part about being young, in your 20s, you had that energy. And I remember one time I went on the air and I said something along the lines of, I just got done at my, bar night at wherever. Gosh, I'm hungry. There was almost a line of people at the back door of the station bringing pizzas, hamburgers, everything. And so it's like, come on in, let me give you a tour. And, it's like, good. They were all listening. And just another funny one, Ron, I got to tell you, just when you mentioned Dino Day, like I said, I can tell people, he was the, CMA country DJ for like 5 or 6 years in a row, which meant he beat out every other country DJ in the country. And I also have to give credit to his producer, Al Rosenberg, who's the one who put together, the tapes that they would send in for the people to listen to. But Dino used to have it on Friday. There was this guy he called the Chug-a-Lugger. Guy, he worked overnight at one of the car plants. And when he would get home, especially on Friday, since he didn't have anything else to do, he would just start drinking. So Dino would have him on at 8 in the morning. The guy got off, I think, at 6 a.m. Have him on at 8 in the morning after this guy has, had a few. And he would always go, and we know the week, okay, Chug-a-Lugger, open your beer. And you'd hear the psst, and go. And they play the Lone Ranger theme, and you could hear this guy, gulping down the beer. And he says, the weekend is ready when the Chug-a-Lugger goes. He'd give this long burp. There was one time, I think he might have had the night off, so he'd been drinking all night. And so you could even tell by his voice, he says, okay, the whole thing, and the weekend starts when the Chug-a-Lugger goes, ooh. And he said, well, whole new start to the weekend with this one, so.
That's great radio. Radio.